When I looked on a map, I wasn't 100% sure this was an outpost. As it's turned out, it's taken 2 days to get this far. Connecting flights, minibus to the border. Oh no, not this border. Minibus to the right border, over the border, and then in this compartment, they've got the heating turned up to about 35 degrees. There's a fella down there who I think is dying of consumption, and the bloke sat opposite has the saddest eyes I have ever seen. Beautiful train ride, though.
It was the longest siege in modern history. 3.5 years in something like hell. And not surprisingly, you can still see the scars. It's over, but it's still everywhere you turn. More than 10,000 people lost their lives in Sarajevo between 1992 and 1996.
Where we're sitting now, I can't even begin to think of the emotions that kind of you must feel when you come and sit somewhere like this. But just explain where we are.
Before the war, we had 4 pitches around the main stadium. And they didn't have an official name. It was just 1, 2, 3, 4. And we are now on the number 4, which is unfortunately a graveyard. They didn't have much place for the burying people, so decided to bury them in the number 4. And that became a famous cemetery in Sarajevo.
You can only wonder what it must have been like. Destruction raining down on your city, on your streets, on your house. Every man became a soldier, including, of course, Sarajevo's footballers.
I was here and I see many things, you know.
Yeah.
Without house, without friends, without neighborhoods, without just a war.
Yeah.
Just like a horror film.
Yeah.
Believe me.
Like being in a horror film. Yeah.
When I talk with you about that, it's too hard, too much for me.
Yeah.
I don't like that. You understand me?
Yeah, yeah.
One football club, Željezničar, Želo, found itself on the wrong side of enemy lines. The neighbourhood the club lay at the heart of was occupied by Serb forces almost from day one.
Here, right here, was the front line. And this is Grbavica, home of Željezničar, Sarajevo's oldest, most famous, most decorated football club. Within days of the conflict starting, this place was in ruins.
The aggressors wanted to destroy our history, to destroy everything that we had, to destroy our heritage. It was like they wanted to destroy it so that they could be able to say, you don't exist, you never didn't exist, you didn't exist. And that's why they wanted to destroy everything we had, like here.
What happened, you know, what happened to the ground, what happened to the community around the club?
So this part of the city called Grbavica was for 3 years under the occupation of Serbian forces. So basically it was the only part of the city that was like in hands of Serbians. And there was like people who didn't come to Grbavica for 3 years. They didn't see Grbavica. They couldn't see their homes, apartments. They couldn't see club. They couldn't see our grand.
Snipers' bullets, mortars, grenades. Whole communities hid in cellars without power, food or even water for days on end. But somehow people found ways to make sure they could still get a game of football.
My parents many times told me, maybe today you can...
Maybe it's dangerous
Yeah,
today.
maybe. And I'm listening noises of grenades where I know exactly when grenades comes, what kind of grenades is, which millimeters of grenades, everything, and I know which area they will bombing that day.
Sarajevo is a remarkable place, and Željezničar is a remarkable club. Built in the 1920s by railway workers and then rebuilt all over again by supporters after the war.
There was more money at that time than now, but money couldn't help really. The love helped. Love is maybe pathetic, what I said, but it was like this. So this club is loved by the fans and by the people, and that's it. That was the main thing about our comeback.
One game symbolised Željezničar's return, a playoff for the league title a couple of years after the war against their great rivals FC Sarajevo. Hadis Subanovic scored the game's only goal.
Now I have one day which is called Zuban Day because of my names. It's 5th of June, yeah. And believe me, I can show you my messages on Facebook, and my private phone is full of messages.
It's like a public holiday.
Public holiday, and it's my birthday.
You think about the emotions that even now, 20 years later, are too painful to talk about. The time during the war, you go to the stadium and all of that emotion is out, can come out.
Maybe that's just a little gift from God. Maybe.
Yeah.
Gift for me.
Yeah.
There's an unshakable bond between this club and its fans. They've shared the very worst of times together after all. It's a bond that's about a lot more than just football.
It gives you that sense of freedom. It gives you possibility not to think daily problems we have here. As you said, you've been here for a couple of days. You've seen many problems within the city, in the country, politics, ethnic groups, protests in front of the presidency building on a daily basis.
Yeah, and no jobs,
no jobs, and not enough income. But with Željezničar, that thing changes. You don't think of absolutely anything. You turn off everything. It's just Željezničar, Željezničar, Željezničar.
You can feel it, even if you can't understand a word of any of the songs or the banners. 90 minutes to feel a part of something, to imagine better times ahead, to put dark memories and a pretty dark present behind you. Right now, it can be all about Željezničar. Club and country. Bosnia, thanks to Edin Dzeko's goals, are off to their first ever World Cup in Brazil. A chance for people to dream.
The fans or the people in Bosnia are waiting over 20 years for the big cup like World Cup, and finally we did it this year, and everyone is happy. Everyone just can't wait for World Cup to start, and now I remember the albums, the with panini, you know, the stickers, how do you call them? And everyone is there now waiting for to buy. The Bosnian team to buy, and it's just amazing feeling. And to be fair, even me, I just can't wait to start.
Siege ended nearly 20 years ago, which I suppose is quite a long time. Then again, it's the blink of an eye. Shouldn't be surprised that the emotions are so complicated, so close to the surface. Don't get me wrong, this isn't just a damaged city full of damaged people. Truly, this is an incredible place. Sarajevo is a city with a soul. Everybody you meet, you know they're carrying a story, probably a tragic story with them. And Sarajevo's still waiting for a happy ending, or waiting to tell a new story. And I wonder if football could be just a small part of that.